folks on the list. I'm going to try and get to them because I know there's another event. So let's start with Kate Porter.
Just a little bit.
Raise your hand if you're a poet.
You're good.
All right, you're a poet. Yay! Okay. So, and how about raise your hand if you know who Landia is? Inlandia. Yeah. Okay. Good. So we're here supporting and trying to cross-pollinate here, younger poets, other poets, would-be poets. I'm executive director of Inlandia, but I'm also a poet. And so I just want to, I'm going to leave these little slips up here that have a little map on the back. But do you all know where the Riverside Public Library is? Raise your hand. Yeah? Okay. So it's a really quick walk. If you just go down the alley here and cross the street, and there's the library. So after you read and after you listen to some folks read, please come join us. I'm going to be talking about how to arrange a poetry manuscript. So if you all have enough poems that you want to put together a chapbook or a full book and you want to know how do you go about doing that, come on over and I have some talks, some tips. And Maureen Washington is there too, and she's going to be talking about books.
What is Inlandia?
What is Inlandia? That's a philosophical question. we are all Inlandia.
You want me to answer?
Sure, James.
I think, honestly, because I feel bad that I didn't mention it. I forgot to mention it before.
Can you check on Instagram to make sure it's working?
All right, James.
So, yes, I've led workshops, and so
No, you're
James
good.
Coates have, we both led workshops for Inlandia. Inlandia is a broad array of events and workshops and publications here in the Inland Empire that support this literary community and made it one of the most vibrant, I think, literary scenes in anywhere really. I like to compare us to, I think you're as good as anything in Los Angeles, in my humble opinion. It's wide ranging. There are one-off workshops, there are events you can go to. They generally don't cost any money. Some boot camp things do, but most of the events are free. The publications support the writers who are in the workshops that you can bring back. And they sponsor a couple of literary awards every year too, the Hillary Gravendike Prize and the Elliot Martinez Prize, both of which are open right now. Just a Gravendike Prize is open right now for submissions of poetry. So if you don't, Inlandia, it's inland with an IA at the end. If you didn't know, now you know. Check it out.
All right. I also want to make sure that we know James Coates is leading a workshop right now, how to make your poetry make sense, business. So business of being a poet. So things to think about. And I'm going to put this down. That's right.
Yeah, is that all right?
James typed it. All right. Here is a poem from my forthcoming book. This book of poetry coming out this summer. It is my 11th book, which is kind of crazy. This is called Teenage Boys Debate the Rittenhouse Verdict. Y'all remember Kyle Rittenhouse? Y'all remember Kyle Rittenhouse? So this was inspired by fragments of a conversation that I overheard with teenage boys. He was stupid, one says, to have gone out there. Yeah, no teenager should have access to that kind of gun. If he hadn't been there, this never would have happened. His mother was stupid, driving. It's stupid, yeah. It shouldn't have been legal for him to be carrying. He was just 17. Wisconsin's gun laws are stupid. And if he'd been black, yeah, if he'd been black, someone would have shot him down. Yeah, that was my point. No, says another. You said he was firing at Brandon. You called it self-defense. Right, one says. He was wrong, the law was wrong. But according to law, he's innocent. And one thinks, but doesn't say, that white skin is a shield, that their mothers have less cause to worry than mothers of black sons. And it doesn't bother them. Thank you.
Oh, my. All right. Thank you, Katie, for sharing that piece with us. And telling folks about Inlandia. Yeah, so I do teach with Inlandia. I just finished up a romance writing workshop with them for the winter session. And now we're about to head into spring. Classes are still available for some of the different things that people are teaching, but I'll be teaching the business of writing, how to make money from your poems and gigs and all that good stuff. And so it's that is kind of my background, like business. I studied at Cal Poly Pomona and at Cal State San Bernardino. So I'm bringing a lot of that information into also like poetry, writing, and how to get out there, exposure, what your brain is like, and all that good stuff. Next up on the mic we have Sincerely Heard.
My name is Sincerely Heard, and this is a poem I wrote titled "Ode to My Mother." I know so many people, but my big brother is my best friend, and no, I'm not embarrassed to admit it. That black veil with wisdom locked in tighter than his hair, and melanin stronger than the diamonds on his wrist like those diamonds. All it takes is one flick and that voice can sparkle like glitter under August sun. My big brother is a horizon of a home that he carries within him. His love fuels the energy charged between my fingertips as they join and train hands. The same way that planets pray to stay together regardless of space acting in between them. The same way the waves break to the ocean to keep them moving and crashing into each other like they've always known. The same way my mother prays for my brother when he walks out that door. The world for us is more like an endless cycle of candlelit memorials. She didn't want our next family gathering to take place while she buried her baby and hid tears from her others. But of course, I was too young to understand the issue. I was too young to realize that being black and walking with your head down and a target on your chest. Too young to understand hands on the dashboard and steady breathing. I was too young to realize that my mother loved us in the way that every mother loved their child. With fear pierced between her lips as she placed them on our foreheads. I didn't realize that she kept her head held high while her hands shook. And she thought about the endless situations where her black child would be caught at the wrong place, at the wrong time, wearing the wrong color with no weapon except his pigment and maybe a flashy smile. But of course, I didn't understand the concept of death. Now I'm older and it's all that I can think about. Maybe because of stories like Rodney King's or Andre Hill's, or the hundreds of others that made me realize it's always the same story with a different name. As I stare at their names on this headline, I can't help but feel like I'm looking at a mirror image of my brother. As society rips the voice out his throat and leaves it to rot in their white pollution. As I stare at their names on this headline, I can't help but feel like this is my brother. With nothing more left of him but a video of a killer wearing the protector's uniform, beating him until bruised patterns embroider his skin, until there's nothing more left but riots with his name starting a revolution. Trying to flash the truth through a community of closed eyes, but his name will never mean more than a hashtag to y'all anyway. His name will never mean more than a repetitive story, but to me, he was my best friend. And if one day society fails him like it did the others, just know that you will always and forever be my best friend. And I will always and forever carry your name between my fists as I point it to the sky. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sincerely Heard. It's hard to memorize poems and then get up and share them with people, so thank you. That takes a lot of work. Next up, we have Alvin.
something I wrote last week, typed it up. I'd like to dedicate this to my grandkids who have to go to school, unlike me. I call this poem Riverside Comedy. I turn on the radio only to hear it's happened again. More teachers, staff, and children shot by angry young men. Public school, public high school, elementary school, or private Christian school, it's all the same. There's a sick soul with plans to kill. Others have a twisted desire for fame. Sociopaths seeking revenge for perceived wrongs strike out people they don't know. Most often they throw their misled lives away, leaving chaos and greed there below. Unstable people with rifles meant for war leave carnage in their wake. Grieving parents who lost children and adults cry out, what more will it take? Manufacturers and retailers earn profits with far too few questions asked. Lawmakers argue and stall, knowing that eventually this horrible event will pass. Reporters and family members speak of mental illness the shooter was suffering from. Still, he found a way to accumulate an arsenal of deadly ammunition and guns. Neighbors and friends seem perplexed, saying, I didn't see it coming. If everybody involved is that clueless, how is our society still running? Mentally unstable people buying weapons of death ought to be setting off alarms. Still, parents and family members seem not to notice until innocents come to harm. Why does an angry person dealing with issues need to accumulate 7 guns and can kill? Losers that sit at home writing manifestos, seldom find work, or have marketable skills. How can a person not playing with a full deck make detailed plans and maps nobody will ever see, nobody seems to see? With everybody out chasing the almighty dollar, it's easier to look away and to let it all be. When the anguish and funerals are done, talking heads wring their hands, seemingly in shock. Still, once the news cycle moves on, it's apparent it was all just empty talk, or more empty talk. In a nation that loves profits more than its children, this isn't likely to end. After all these deaths, we still allow guns to get to the hands of sociopathic men. Dysfunctional people with functional weapons and ammunition will always find a way. In our culture of senseless violence, it won't be long before we see another Hurricane Dave. These well-armed predators always seem to choose a soft target to carry out their cowardly plans. God only knows we provide them with plenty of those with decisions put in gun-phobic hands. We could put weapons in every school to make it an equal battleground. If nothing changes, guns in the hands of sociopathic shooters will still be found. Principals and teachers never plan or aspire to become a sheriff in Dodge City. For a nation that can't keep guns away from our schools and our children, I have no pity.
Thank you for that one, Al. So for those who don't attend poetry events very often, if you hear a line you like to snap, clap, and stomp, you can say yes, say yes. We're not a library. Laugh, do all that. So, yeah, just keep in mind, I know we're talking about other subjects and stuff, but you absolutely like share this collection. Next up, we're going to bring Sue to the mic. Sue.
Thank you. This is my first reading my poetry, so we'll see how it goes. I have 2 short ones.
Woo! Yay!
We walk the path of historic times. Some stomp in heavy boots, others trot in flip-flops carelessly. If you think you can sit and not take part, think again. The world keeps going, the earth is moving under your seated feet. Get up. turn? Congratulations on taking away my daughter's rights to her body. Congratulations for protecting the rights of predators and rapists of privileged boys, taking what they want. Congratulations on continuing the path of protecting the power of the few while dismissing the rest of us. Congratulations on waking the fury of activists already buried underground.
Can you guys just watch it real quick? I'm gonna go over there and take pictures.
Thank you for that, Sue. And so, with social justice, when we think about writing and think about it personal, the personal is political, right? Because we've all experienced injustice, we've all experienced inequities in systems, and we have oppressive systems that build on each other, whether it's racism or patriarchy or xenophobia. And so when we write our stories, when we tell our stories to others and share them, as a nice or a book, it gives power to name these systems and reclaims power for us and our communities. And so it's really important that we share our stories. That being said, I'm going to bring up next Jose Chavez.
Well, my name is Jose Chavez. I'm a poet, and I also do some work for Landia. I teach writing for children. So if you've ever thought you might want to write a book, maybe it's poetry, maybe it's a children's picture book, then I'd love to have it. So it's in Landia. I was raised in Los Angeles, in South Central. I lived there for about a year. I went to right off Santa Barbara Boulevard, which is now called MLK. Back in my day, it was Santa Barbara Boulevard. We walked in here like a tunnel under the street to get to the Trinity Street School. That's where I started at. We moved to Venice later on. In Venice, I just have to say, there is a nice part of Venice, there's a light part of Venice, and there's a dark part of Venice. We were a big, poor family, so we were from the dark part of Venice. All right. Anyway, I was not born in LA. I was born in a place that rhymes with Roswell, New Mexico. As fate would have it, it was Roswell, New Mexico, where I was born. Now, there's a lot of pro and con about Roswell and the aliens that supposedly landed there. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. Maybe this poem will help clear it up. Let's find out. Born in Roswell. There was an alien aircraft that crashed near Roswell in 1947. The Army saw it. Dozens of eyewitnesses, a body, boys, on a rectangular table. The doctor's report written in a government hangar inside Walker Air Force Base. Must be a cover-up. The nurse saw it all, knew the whole story. The nurse always knows what the doctor won't say. Born in '53, I walked the streets of Roswell, 2nd Street, Main Street, Van Buren, where Abuelita lived, my grandmother. I remember the Chief Theater on Main Street, and the Safeway, and the Piggly Wiggly where everybody shopped. My barrio called Chihuahuita, well, there were no aliens there. I once saw a porcupine and 2 raccoons one summer when I was 7. Poverty walked the streets with us. Broken homes, broken trucks, broken cars, broken lives, broken people, forgotten prayers. No alien museum then. No restaurant selling alien burgers. No new hotels, no movie sets. No Captain Kirk, no Mr. Spock, no grainy videos. So sorry.
Sure, why not?
So I would like to read some poems by other people. This first one is from MUSE. We have the honor of publishing people impacted by the carceral system, and in this case, this is a currently incarcerated man who won a PEN award for his writing. Matthew Mendoza won the 2018 PEN Prison Poetry Contest for his poem Grace Notes. His play, Freedom Feather, was performed by the RTA Theater Group in Brooklyn Book Festival. From prison. He's in prison. His amazingly cool, he wrote this. His amazingly cool will of iron are the only things keeping this letter from being peppered with exclamation marks. And this poem is called Tonight, the Glimmer of the Moon on the Razor Wire Reminds Me of You. Matthew Mendoza. And there's a Pablo Neruda quote that starts at days, all of one kind, go chasing one another. Like us, my memories chase each other. Days, weeks, months, years are meaningless. Memory like the moon is my calendar. Now, breath frozen, words frozen. Seasons won't steal you from me. The wind in the wire won't whisper harsh words or chitter with my fear. There is no day, no night, not here. Only a stained daylight brushed with bilirubin flow. Tonight, your moon is brighter than this dirty light. I see you the way you deserve to be seen. No scars, no canyons, no empty seas. You remain the you that you've always been. Your scars healed by the heat of our skin. Your canyons protected and safe. Your seas filled with oceans of dreams that I haven't forgotten to dream. My memories kiss you where your body opens and brings life where we've forgotten to feel. Today, if you see a child skip like a cup on the wind, or a woman laugh like a girl, or a man moon like a lovesick boy, let that be my gift to you. My memories are your gift to me. Honestly, I would prefer that it weren't a white man reading this, but I think it's important to read. Dennis Smith is the founding member of the Dark Noise Collective. Their poetry has appeared in many, many places. It was a 2011 Individual World Poetry Slam finalist. And this poem is called Alternate Names for Black Boys. Number 1, smoke above the burning bush. 2, arch nemesis of summer night. 3, first sun, soil. 4, coal awaiting spark and wind. 5, guilty until proven dead. 6, oil-heavy starlight. 7, monster until proven ghost. 8, gone. 9, phoenix who forgets to unash. 10, going, gone. 11, gods of shovels and black veils. 12, what once passed for kindling. 13, fireworks at dawn. 14, brilliant, shadow-hued coral. 15, I thought to leave this blank, but who am I to name us nothing? 16, prayer who learned to bite and sprint. 17, a mother's joy and clutched breath. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. A couple weeks ago, I got a chance to go up to AWP, which is kind of the nation's writers conference. So everyone's there, poets, writers, you see all the kind of famous people with poetry, like Patricia Smith, Let's see, Karen.
We're moving.
You already know. You already know.
Yeah, I think Katie took off.
My name is Karen Bradford. I'm not a poet. Tonight apparently is my world premiere. I'm a writer and photographer. I have photos of the subject of my poem. Would you like to see them first, or would you like to see them afterward? Okay, just a second. This is the young girl when she has a cleft lip, and she, at 2.5, she had learned to cover her face. This is high up in the Andes in Peru. This is the reason why she had learned to cover her lip, because people stared at her. Even in this town in the Andes, people would stare. It was a Rotary mission, Rotary International, our district here, Riverside, San Bernardino, had raised the $60,000 it took to do this medical mission, and this is what she looked like afterwards. So the first incarnation of this true story is the photos. The second was the story that I wrote afterwards to help raise more money for it. And this is, I gave myself the assignment, let's make a poem out of it, so it's a pantu. Alfonsina Tinoco Romero is 2.5, 12.5 kilos and incomplete. She is scared, sedated, and cradled in the care of an American nurse. 2 American plastic surgeons and an Indian anesthesiologist prepare to operate. In an archaic hospital room high in the Peruvian Andes, her tiny heart beats staccato on a monitor. Blip, blip, blip. She is scared, sedated, and cradled in the care of an American nurse. Where a sweet little upper lip should be, sprout 2 bulbs of flesh, like mushrooms, with a space between, her teeth revealed. In an archaic hospital room high in the Peruvian Andes, her tiny heart beats staccato on a monitor. Blip, blip, blip. Boom, explode festival rockets outside, the progression of crosses taking place. I think of watching MASH on TV, how Army doctors kept operating, despite the sounds of shelling. You remain focused too. Where a sweet little upper lip should be, sprout 2 bulbs of flesh like mushrooms, with a space between, her teeth revealed. The American plastic surgeons and Indian anesthesiologists prepare to operate. Zzz goes the electric cautery pins when surgeon carves away her grotesquely malformed lip. The 2 surgeons work together, artist hands that heal. The anesthesiologist squeezes a ventilation bag and breathes into Alfonsina, his hand and his knowledge guard her life. All concentrate on her. The 2 surgeons work together, artist hands that heal. One tiny heartbeat fills the quiet room. Blip, blip, blip. All concentrate on her. Birds sing beyond the window, life goes on outside. One tiny heartbeat fills the quiet room. Blip, blip, blip. The anesthesiologist squeezes the ventilation bag and breathes into Alfonsina. His hand and his knowledge guard her life. Birds sing beyond the window, life goes on outside. What is the Cupid's bow? The shape of the top of a heart, of a perfect upper lip. The surgeons create for her a perfect Cupid's bow. No pouty models for this mountain girl. Her cheeks glow a leathery rose, windbreak of the vicious cold sweeping across the Andes Mountains. The surgeons create for her a perfect Cupid's bow. Her little body so brown and still beneath the sterile drapes. They stitch together two sides of a lip that has never before met. In time, these now perfect lips will surely kiss future children, but soon Alfonsina's lips certainly will be kissed by her own mother. Her little body so brown and still beneath the sterile drapes. No pouting model's lips for this little mountain girl. In time, these now perfect lips will surely kiss her future children, but soon Alfonsina's lips will certainly be kissed by her own mother. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that poem with us. Yeah, appreciate it. Next up, it looks like we have Edgar. Edgar, the house.
This is from a book called Go Bare Maximum. Live the bare minimum lifestyle to achieve maximum creative potential. It's about relinquishing control, trusting the experience, getting into the discomfort zone. I'll slither on the other snake, soul snatching evil. Sledgehammer fun. English ripped the sledgehammer. She yells the next time she comes over. Metal part protrudes towards my face. Kipling's potential for verbally abusing the closest inner circle of friends is legendary. Calvin comes to mind as she yells, "This is what's going to happen. The next time, the next time." She swings the sledgehammer and I flinch. Calvin wore many outfits, a player with a tacky suit, jeans, shirt, cap placed backwards. Cheater, liar, moocher. Kipling cut promos that would make a professional escort blush. Next time, the next time, the next time. Calvin's done, he's not coming back. Slither on, the other snake, soul snatching demon. She raised the sledgehammer. This time he faced the wrath. Next time, I wonder if the sledgehammer slipped. With the next person facing her rage, be myself.
Thank you for that, Edgar. Appreciate you. Mateo.
Hello. Does it come through? Yes. Yeah, hear me good? Hear me well? Yes. I'm one of the editors. The MUSE is here, so I just wanted to thank everyone for coming. For last year and some events, and I just appreciate everyone showing us support. Make sure you check out the table with collaboration, and just the space is really nice, isn't it? Right? Industrial. It's very white. It's a very large eggshell. It's like eggshell. I have a couple poems to read to you tonight. First one is untitled. Downtown LA is a hard place to tell if anyone is serious or sarcastic. It's crazy. Everything is hard to pronounce. They all look like characters, but the same characters played by different actresses, recurring roles that repeat endlessly and get updated wardrobes every few years. Half of them don't want to be in this performance though. Wardrobes and aprons, rubber gloves, paint-stained shirts, vomit-stained boots. These are the minor characters. You serve your coffee, pick up lotto tickets, pick up napkins, perpetuate your sit, service fancy, how we survive. This one's called Edible Arrangements. I don't know if anyone came last year, but Mierda, find your favorite shade of brown. The kind that's low to the ground, but still close to the sky. Picking and cutting and digging your graves for you. Los viejitos stare at the sun in its eyes stare back with a burning glare, not of contempt, not of oppression, not of discrimination, not of familia, not of SAPF. Sprouts from the back of the hand, sprouts from the ground in the back of the hand. And the soil of its electrolytes, doo-wop. And I think Billy Stewart singing I Do Love You. Northern and northern, away from the border, climb until there is no hill to go over, no slope with a bright green patch of grass that they ask you to cut. And we danced to a serpentine goddess. Know your part. Each step has to be unnoticed, slithering. Each gesture filling the space quietly, unraveled, uncoiled, gracefully. How can this dance to the devil be full of grace? We are, were, always, only human after all. Thank you.
I know I'm gonna say this wrong. Host, you're up.
That's me, yes. Hello everyone, my name is Sandra, and I wanted to share a poem, and before I share it, I wanted to thank everyone that helped make this poem possible, and that'll make more sense once I read it. Appreciate that. If I can just find it, and that's my son Vincent. I was given the open mics because he was recently diagnosed with autism, and he is speech delayed, but I would like to bring him here to show him that he has a voice, and he can still utilize that voice, and he's warming up to be able to do some songwriting.
Can you use the other? Yeah, we can use the other one. I can't even go.
Sure.
It's fine.
Oh. I mean, it's still looks good. I mean, it's not like we have any viewers right now.
While reading the nutrition facts on the back of the cereal box, a woman asks me, "Do you even speak English?" I count the pinstripes on the zoot suit supporting me, tracing the lineage of Chicanismo and racist foolery in an attempt to catch my breath. I remind myself that while I am not, have never been, and will never be illegal, assault with a deadly weapon still is.
The blade sharpened between Main and San Pedro, where the 110 meets the 105, you might know it as South Central, will have to sit at full attention in my mouth for now. When you ask me if I speak English, are you really asking me if I belong? As if I wasn't born at Martin Luther King Jr. Hospital in Los Angeles, California. I'm American by your very definition. And yet when my son was born just 2 years ago, you were adamant that our melanin qualified us as immigrants. Do I speak English? The same English that transmutes the holiness of the name Maria into a punchline, Jose into a bad hombre. The only bad hombre here is your virtue, signaling your urge to survive by superficially adapting your image. From light to dark you fade when you mistake the brown on my skin for anything but patriot. When you fail to follow the rhythm of my curls and suggest I straighten them more often. When you confidently try to bash salsa as rip-off marinara until I remind you that tomatoes are native to the Americas. When you start a food truck specializing in quesadillas but don't understand me unless I stab my ancestors in the back and order a quesadilla. For centuries now, you've suspended your belief into thinking this land was free. Free land when you force out the people you don't condone. Free labor when you kidnap people minding their own. Free conscience when you rewrite history and shove it down our throats. Remember this the next time you want to ask me if I speak English. Your gaslight is empty now. We stand side by side now. And no, I don't speak your English, but I understand it. Thank you.
All right, just a couple more names. Angel, you're up next. If anyone wants to sign up, still wants to sign up to be on this, I got it, so let me know, Brittany.
This is called, this is called Holidays in German. It's silly vocabulary once. This is over and done. We've all gone back to doing what we were doing before. Don't feel good. You can say we've grown far out of far too close to the years. Under reading procedures for throwing out thoughts into a bigger box. We're all in colonies on the side of the world and across the pool. Allegorical sights of teachers wearing crosses or scattered legal blocks across the kitchen floor. The virus went due to January custom of aiming stereotypes in that city hall for the countdown to nothing. The ignited fair taking place in the Dodger Square. Or was it the time? I forget. All I say is, if we're on the same page and organized well, we can force a transition away from verticality, leftward and down towards affinity. And maybe confident level 3 plan to show. But you know me, investigating from point A to point B that I struggle with. So let's picture an image that is stuck. We scale on a little bigger picture of the job. Buying products that isn't quite the point, but secures the problem for posterity. I can see it already, but why didn't you? I wasn't picturing exactly. I can see it already, the door. The laws in the car, the swinging stop of wood, the focus on the upstairs bathroom window, or just the neighbor say, frame is shuttered, hidden frozen in the air, motionless like a consequence of bad decisions before 9 a.m. Forgot where I was going with that, but wouldn't you like to get away? Call it in train and off somewhere? Visit the region swindling, but still including attractions. For example, Thornvale's dinosaurs. Born again and relocated away from Cabazon to spread the word of God. But his mom museum and Diamond Vineyard spell is still south of the near, so that's more your kind of thing. The hill behind people downtown offer the finest view of the unquestioned structures, which the locals completely forget. As soon as they look away, again and again they look impressed by the city's choice to invest taxpayer money on such forgetful museums, galleries, promenades, lined with hundreds of these that never seem to have anyone inside. But the narrow streets screams the right away from the Moody Road are pretty good for some reasons. On Tuesdays, there's an evening hiking tour of long-running haunted sites, the gates of hell,
up, we have Amber.
Hi, everybody. So I just want to say real quick, I'm going to read a song by a lovely lady named Denise Ross. And I'm on a big journey of recognizing my privilege and doing the absolute best that I can to not stay ignorant. And I think knowledge is power. And so I'm soaking in everything that I can from different perspectives. And her perspective, the song that she wrote, was really, really, it really spoke to me. I'd like to share that with you. So, this song is called, you might have heard of it, some of the other people, We'll Never Have Sex, Melody Cross. Deep pollute me, pretty baby, suck the rod right out of my bloodstream. Oh, dilute me, gentle angel, water down into my colony and grateful. Oh, you kissed me, just to kiss me, not to take me home. It was simple, it was sweetness, it was good to know. You look perfect and you look different. I don't wonder about your indifference. If I said you could never touch me, you'd come over and you'd say I was lovely. Or you kissed me just to kiss me, not to make me cry. It was simple, you were sweetness. Let's just sit over. Deep pollute me, gentle angel, and I'll feel the sickness less and less. Come and kiss me, pretty baby, like we'll never have sex. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber, for that piece. So we have arrived towards the end of the evening. No one else has anything to share. I guess I'll close this out.
Will you please read the rock poem? I know I'm making a request, but would you?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, thank
Just
you.
if you have to.
I'm gonna.
All right.
I like this song.
So, this book really was born out of the events of 2020, the social uprising, and the events going on at that time. And so I was writing about the experience at the time, the pandemic, the xenophobia, the racism, the marches, all that stuff. And out of writing the book, I realized that the work, the poetry, can only do so much. And so I was like, I need there to be space to come together to discuss these things. And so while writing the book, I created a social justice writing group, writing workshop. And so it's on the first Wednesday of each month, 6 o'clock. And we go into writing about social justice topics. Sometimes, it may be gun violence, it may be police brutality, it may be racism, or reproductive rights. And so we come together, we read poetry, we talk about it, and we write based on prompts each month. And so that group's really helped bring things together. But it wouldn't be, I don't think it would be there without the events that happened in 2020. And so I want to read a poem that really kind of inspired the book, unfortunately, given the circumstances. But this was for George Floyd. I don't read it very well. I can't breathe. That's it. The weight of witnessing on my chest, waiting for a response. What will I do next? The bullets in my body are still burning. So today I'm giving you all this smoke. These lungs filled with the hate you gave. Anger rages like fire in my bones, seething to release this blaze. Burn this place to the ground. Pull down those false constructs you champion, equality and justice. I can't breathe. I feel the light leaving me. My faith in humanity, sick and tired of being sick and tired. I am no longer afraid of death, but only because I've seen myself murdered too many times. To be black is to expect to be next. Perhaps part of me already is gone. My faith that anything will change has been lost long ago, and my body's sure to follow any day now. They say that we've made progress, that the future will get better, but how? When the future is constructed in our past, we can't get past, and events in the present tense sound more like a death sentence. When peace officers deliver a death sentence, I guess crime does pay. The thin blue line forms lines that crush bones and smoke bodies. No need for a judge or jury, rather play God and execute the devil's work with impunity. Exhausted with the useless excuses like he was too loud and unruly, tried to make a fool of me and exercised his right, so I gave him a right to remain silent. That's what you want, us to remain silent. I won't remain silent so long as they remain violent. I was told racism was dead. Truth is the beast is doing well. It follows like a shadow straight out of hell. It has never stopped breathing down my neck or putting me a chokehold until I stop breathing out of it. I can't tap out. My hands are cuffed. I'm suffocating on your bloodlust. This fight is to the death. I struggle for breath till no more life is left. Hell, I can't breathe. Why is racism still alive and so many of my brothers and sisters who look like me are not? Because it is the foundation of this culture's narrative, the mortar that holds this unjust system together, the original sin on a long list of moral hypocrisies, a permanent blood stain soaked into the lily white fabric of the privilege you wear. Hello, 911, I'd like to make a report. The Negroes are outside again. Can you come send some men, use your guns, get rid of them? That's what you really want to happen. When we don't behave, you think we should still be treated like slaves who traded plantation fields for sports fields, ship holes for cell blocks, master's house for a cable news spot. We tried marching, praying. I'm saying don't listen to our protests. Rather, we just keep the peace, for destruction is what you seek. So I'd rather keep my peace. 400 years at war, we can't take no more living through this genocide, locked, loaded, and ready to ride. We done asking. We have a right to live. Got no more tears to give when the socks forget can't support the weight of deliberate ignorance. We bury black boys. Now's your chance to speak up and you make no noise. That says it all. Parents fear, will my son be next? Murder, will my boy be next? Murder because son fit the complexion. We're done. Black tears fall in monsoons to wash away the pain. But when the hurricane clears, no rainbows appear. Not here. This is America, and we still can't breathe.
Woo!
Woo! All right, so this poem is the rock poem, and someone told me like you should just write more poems about nature and stuff. And so I was like, okay, I will. And I wrote this piece. I wouldn't call it a rock. I wanted to write a poem about a rock, where the rock is not a metaphor for the hardness a boy is taught to display. The rock is not expected to smash through windows as if its nature is to be violent. The rock would not be symbolic of being stepped on by the powerful patriarchy. In this world, the rock doesn't denote minorities pounded by a sea of racism or waves of abuse standing to fit in. In this place, the rock is just allowed to be a rock, existing where it is, how it is, and not required to select from a binary in fear of being ground down to dust. It doesn't wonder why other rocks come in smaller ovals than it does, or compare itself to other rocks with lighter shapes or smoother textures. If this rock were in a movie, it would still be a rock at the end. And nobody would tell it that it's being a rock the wrong way because it doesn't represent all rocks. I want to write a simple poem that would make people smile when it speaks about nature, where pressure doesn't force the rock to transform into something else to be valued. No, in this place, the rock is allowed to just be a rock and never turn into a gravestone. And I have one last poem for you. So, in writing this book, in the work I do with social justice and writing social justice piece, creating space for people to have conversations. It is not just because, you know, I want our community to have some relief, you know, for the world to be more equitable, but I have skin in the game. Like I have a son, and I want the world to be a better place for him. And so I'll close out this poem, this part of the reading with this poem I wrote for him. It's titled Little Black Boy, I Love You. I know I don't tell you that enough, but I do. Tyler, you are my only son, and I love you like a fish loves water. That is to say, you are my world, and I can't breathe without you. Yet I am hard on you because I feel like I have to be. And right now, you may not understand what I am preparing you for, but as you grow to become a man, there's some things you must know. This world is hard too, and it's going to be extra difficult for you. See, we live in a world where your mistakes are written down in permanent marker, where your record will haunt you like student loan debt, meaning no forgiveness, where you get 2 strikes as soon as you start the game, 1 for being black, and the second also for being black. See, in the past, if I praised you, told you were smart and strong, or cheered you on the way you were coming along, Master would take note and calculate the cost. Just to see how much he could get if he sold you off. 200 years later, if I spoke too much confidence into you, it might cause you to hold your head high, chest out. That will no doubt cause jealousy in others' eyes. The local mob of good old boys will come to our home with torches for eyes to steal a light from your bones. These spineless jellyfish are venomous and vindictive. So yes, I should have said how beautiful you are, how clever, talented, and funny you are, but unconscious trauma had stolen my voice, made the choice without me even being aware. When I say be back before dark or don't get smart, I don't do it to be me. There is a history behind these things, a past full of horrific scenes, names like Willie Brower, Emmett Till, Tamir Rice, all black boys just like you taken from us. I wish we never had to practice for traffic stops or need to explain how a wallet becomes a loaded weapon in the cops' distorted view. But I know, because it's what I've been through. You have to be ready for the games they play because they will murder you and get away. They will shoot first and ask your mother to come ID the body. Talking back will get you beat, body slammed, or worse, killed like Sandra Bland. You will be stopped and frisked, harassed, detained, and dismissed, judged before proven innocent, handed a life sentence for selling cigarettes faster than you get fired for protesting it. In the blink of an eye, like Atiana or Brianna, you could be at home in bed and boom, dead. You were never the 3/5 they labeled us, but they will still use a 4-5 to hang you, then offer us paper payoffs as if their olive branches don't still hold room for more black bodies. They don't care that you were playing with a toy. They don't care you're only 12 years old. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They will snuff out your flame like it was their birthday wish. Have the corner sliced into your sweetness and distribute the pieces like cake. This is a hated truth I dread every time you're not with me and I hear a siren sing in the street. My little black boy, I am trying to keep you alive, to give you the skills necessary to survive. Son, I need you to survive. Please, survive. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This has been so great tonight. My name is Tracy Fisher. I'm the director here, and I really appreciate this collaboration tonight with RCC MUSE. And James Coach, what can I say? You are so special and so talented, and you're just really, kind of embraced by your presence and hosting. Appreciate it. And all of you who came to the room. Thank you all so much. James, you're going to host your
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Fisher, for welcoming us here. And this has been really great and wonderful. And I appreciate you. And I just don't know what to say of thanks to you, James, for being here and helping facilitate this. I say this, I seem to say this all the time, but one of the things that I've noticed about MUSE is that we are blessed with the opportunity to provide people with voices and the ability to come together. Words don't change anything, but they can move people. And I believe that they do, and I think that's something that we can appreciate here. Just to close out, the center stays open for a little while longer, and you can stay. I would really love you to support Cellar Door Books if you can, but also James has some of his books here that you could purchase from him, and we'd love to have you support him in that way. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? RCC Muse, RCC Muse, RCC Muse. On Instagram, find us. Upcoming events that we have, we'll let you know. I think that's it. What's happening? Thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Do I end it? Do I end it?